Are you able to summon your talent at will? So when you have to write or produce or direct, are you able to just call it up?
And I think I can summon it at will when I'm up against or past a deadline.
Thank you for admitting we all run past deadlines every now and then. At least finally I got someone on the show who admits that we miss
And
deadlines sometimes.
I mean, it's really after a deadline that I will summon everything. And I think actually, weirdly, when I'm up against something is when I get some of the best spurt.
You're a
It's
pressure
either
cooker.
a pressure cooker for sure or in the shower. I know that's trite, but it's true. And when I go for a long walk or I go for runs.
There was a website, I don't know if it still exists anymore, but it was called Structured Procrastination. And this professor wrote a whole thing about how, like, whatever is like deadlines don't become important until they're passed. That was one of his principles. And it's like, it's so great to be a professor. And secondly, his whole thing was like, there's something I don't want to do, but then what I wait for is something I want to do even less. And then I do the thing I don't want to do. Then I come to that. He's like, so it's structured. It just cascades all the way down. I'm like, what an approach to help organize a lot of high profile events. What are the purpose of these events? What do you hope people do at them in general? How much does networking help your career or whatever else? I mean, you're pretty involved in that scene.
I guess I made the mistake 4 years ago of having a little private party for my friends who were nominated,
For
and
Oscars.
they were nominated for Oscars, and we were at a place, Anurima Bhargava's place in New York, and there was Joseph Patel, and there was Anurima, and we were also celebrating our friend Geeta Gunbir, and then I had done a scan of the Oscar nominees, and then I made, did a toast, and I said, "There's a record number of South Asian Oscar nominees. We must do something about this. We must celebrate." And in a way, that became like the genesis for this event that then early on worked with Manish Goyal, Priyanka Chopra, and Julia Acharya. The first year was at UTA, and that was kind of thrown together really a few weeks prior. And then the next year was at Paramount. And it was just evolving and trying to find itself. And frankly, that event is always about the nominees. That's who it's for. It's for that, and the nominees are going to change every year.
Yeah.
And what was interesting that year, the first year it started, is that there was a film from Afghanistan by, Gulistan Mirzai, who is Afghani. There was the first Bhutanese Oscar nominee of all time. You had Riz Ahmed nominated for two different projects. And then you had, a film like Writing with Fire from India, which was about an investigative women's newsroom that was really taking on like right wing injustice in the state of UP primarily. And so these were the films and stories and filmmakers. It just felt like an incredible moment at that point, say, we have to gather as this broad South Asian community, especially in the filmmaking community and the entertainment business at this point and moving forward.